Yo, what's up, guys? So we're doing phase ALLU point of view demo review here, and we're just gonna be looking at what he does, try to understand the why. Why is he doing his play, the good and bad of the plays, and we're just gonna try to learn some things. So on this round, it looks like he's just coming towards B, and the point of this strat is just to pressure B and cause CTs to start rotating towards B. And they're using the bomb as well to show that, hey, look, we're here with the bomb. Then what's going to happen are the players are going to run out A, and there's only going to be one player for the CT. So ALLU not really doing much in this round, just showing the bomb, baiting his teammate right here, just letting Kerrigan go up first so that he can clean up. And it oftentimes makes sense that you'll just you'll bait a certain type of player. If you're going to have Kerrigan or ALLU late in the round, who would you rather have? So Kerrigan's jumping around and clearing out the spots, and ALLU did a very obvious bait. Whether it was communicated between the players or not is not like something that we can know, but definitely a lot of players, especially if they're less health, they'll decide, you know what, you have armor, you have a better gun, or you have more health. I'll go out first, you just bait me. And that's what happened. 1 versus 4, nothing he could have done there. So we're going to go on to an eco round, and we're just going to speed through this shit. First thing to notice is he gets a P250. He doesn't get deagle or armor, and that's because he's the opera on the team, so he wants to start building his economy, starting from like right now. So when you're opting for your team, whether you're primary or not, you need to be able to understand how you're supposed to manage your economy, and if that means you don't buy nades or you don't buy deagles and you don't buy armor on eco rounds, that's what you got to do. That's a sacrifice you have to make so that you can afford the op, the armor, the kit, and the nades when it comes to gun round time. And the P250 is just it's a small investment. 1 kill gets your investment back, and it really helps you get that kill. It's not a bad choice, but he's gonna lose this round, so let's move on. And with no bomb plant from the terrace here, they're going to have to eco all the way until the 4th round to get the first gun round. ALLU with the most money again. I'm just going to skip through this freeze time. It looks like they're just going to do some sort of smokes like this and then just jump out halls. It makes the most sense. But they get pushed. Dead. First gun round. ALLU has the op. And he's going to be holding top middle. So on this play, it's just you're sitting here making sure that the CTs are doing an aggressive push, that you're just going to get the free kill, and then you're letting your teammates get into positions wherever they need to be. So right now what they're doing is they're just making sure that no CTs start pushing through these areas, and they're just sitting back holding for pushes. So AZ's watching underground, Jacob's watching upper, ALLU's watching mid. Very standard split hold, and then they're just going to regroup together. So there's nothing to watch here for a little bit. We're just going to start fast forwarding a tiny bit. It's starting to move up. If there's been no push yet, you're kind of stuck at a crossroads. Like, are they going to do like a delay push? There's been no pressure at middle. Are they going to like start pushing up and flanking? So when he's moving up, he's still being cautious of someone who's pushing up, who might do like a late round like info gather. But he's going to clear all his angles slowly. So clears connector, clears the window, looks for the guy on the right side window, makes his way to the back mid. He's actually really lucky that in this moment, when that CT peeked from window, that ALLU stayed alive, because as you notice, like as he was running from the boxes back middle towards that spot, he was jumping around and he was like pulling out his pistol and his knife. He didn't have his op out. He wasn't ready for CT to just like flash and peek. And for there to be a minute left in the round and no information, like no pressure, no presence, nothing like that, he's got to understand that the same way that he was holding from the back of middle, expecting like a CT to push up and he's staying scoped in and he's like working his way up slowly, he's got to understand that the CTs need to gather info at some point, so they're going to push or peek something, and he needs to be ready with his op scoped for a CT to do something like that, in my opinion. I don't know. What do I know though? He's just going to regroup with his team in a 4-3. So this is a smart decision. Smart choice. And once you're in a 1 versus 3 situation, you just want to go for a pick wherever you know that there's an enemy. So he knew one was CT, he knew one was jungle. So he took the fight towards CT. If he can get that kill, he knows one's jungle. He could maybe take a risk and plant for CT spawn. So he could do something like that. But in the end, he didn't really have any opportunity to do anything. Scanning through. His teammates are making pressure at middle, and they're going to do like a connector A split. And the timing on this, let's hope he does it. It's going to be that because there's 3 people towards here, they're going to come out first. And then as soon as they start making contact, which they did, he's going to go out. Now, the thing that he did wrong was that, I don't know. I think he just went too early. I think, like, even though they made contact here, I think it's still too early. They need to start making contact up here. So anyone who's in the bomb site, instead of looking up here, they're going to be looking towards connector. And that's when he peeks out and shoots this motherfucker in the back. So that's supposed to be the timing on it. So I think he went a tiny bit too early there. Hopping up again, coming to Palace. He's probably just going to post up and look for a push here. If there's no push at this moment, it's usually probable that the CTs won't push. CTs mainly push when they have that spawn for it. So he's just holding for that push. His teammates are in position to come out of ramp, and 2 of them are working their way up mid. So it's going to be interesting to see what he does with the smoke up. Is he going to try to push through it and kill someone at CT spawn? Or is he going to sit back, wait the smoke to run out, and then just play the post plant by picking anyone at jungle and stairs? So he's clearing all his close angles safely. He's posting in jungle. He knows that one CT because his teammate just got killed. But he's just going to sit back here, and he's going to play this really passively and really safe. And this is the way that you're going to want to play it, because he's got a good post plant position. And what he's doing is he's just ensuring that any rotators that come jungle or connector, he's got a really good angle on them. So he's going to sit back, stay safe, keep that up, and keep like really safe positioning. He showed himself at Palace right there early on. He missed the shot. Immediately, without hesitation, he rotates back around to ramp. It was a really smart play, because if the CTs pushed in and killed his teammate Rain on the bomb site, they would immediately say, last player is in halls, let's go like smoke halls, or like they'll be staring at halls. So when that's happening, ALLU can get a really good play by shooting them from ramp, and they don't really expect it. So it's a really smart, quick decision, showing himself, shooting, and then rotating off immediately. Now, if he got the kill, does he need to rotate off? Hard to say, but really good choice in that situation. This looks like a standard mid control. Really good angle there. If you noticed what he did, he jumped up on the box so he can see over the smoke that his team throws at top middle. This is something that it's really easy to do. All you have to do is just wedge yourself. I was too slow. You want to wedge yourself. How can I do this? Right here. In this box, and just jump up on there's something sticks out of here. And then you can see over the smoke, and that helps people a lot. You can get a pick onto an unsuspecting person in window. This is a really good pick off angle if you're an opper. You could also try it with an AK, because you have the cover of the smoke. It's almost a one-way. It's not completely a one-way, but a lot of oppers on CT side window will not be checking for that. They'll be looking for someone to be peeking out wide alongside the back of the boxes, or someone to be pushing through the smoke, but not someone who's going to be peeking over top the smoke. So you can oftentimes catch a guy off guard if you do that. The call's been made. Go back to B. It's a 5-on-4. They have a man advantage, and they have cat control as well. So this is a really powerful split. And sort of like what he was doing on A Palace, he's just going to keep high ground control and look for kills on rotators who are easy pickoffs for him. and he's just going to maintain this post plant position. So if his teammates do somehow start losing the retake, he's in a great position to clutch the round, but he can also get some pickoffs on people. Like a CT has to push his teammate at the van or at jail, he can get a nice crossfire with them. It looks like at this point though, he is looking to go get kills and just shut this retake down completely, and it looks like he already knows, like, oh, they're probably saving, so he's just going to back off here as we'll skip into the next round. He's lining up smokes for stairs, so if you guys don't know the smoke, basically this is the lineup right here. You don't have to do anything crazy. I aim a little bit higher, so I know that you can safely aim it a tiny bit higher, but this is the smoke that you need for stairs, and all you have to do is stand and look at, like, just stand right there and look at that, and then just aim. You can go a little bit higher. I guess he does it from this height, and then is it hold alt? So that's where it goes. And if, okay, so when you're in a 2 versus 3, there's a little bit more pressure on you to go and make a kill, make it a 2-on-2, and then you start like planting the bomb and play the post plant 2-on-2 situation. If his teammates didn't die here, so he just lost Kerrigan, AZ, and Rain, all just like that from Tim and Stewie on A. If he didn't lose those players, the smart play would to be sit back on the ramp, scope in towards bench, like the run in from stairs area, the stairs angle just under stairs. Just scope in on that angle and wait for any CTs to run through trying to be a hero making a play. Beyond that, he should just be sitting back and playing it the same way that he played Palace on the A take, and kind of like how he played B on the B take when he was sitting in upper, just sitting back, waiting for rotations and playing the post plant. But because it's a 2 versus 3, he definitely needs to go and make a play now.
Stop fucking ghost calling. Thought I talked to you, bro. It's not like I'm just talking for fun.
So this is the angle that you would hold and just wait for someone to start running through it. So what they did here, I think, was they waited the smokes out intentionally so that ALLU would actually have a shot on someone who is at jungle or in connector. With the smokes up, if ALLU's like moving up, he can't really get a shot on anyone, and it's not allowing him to make a pick. So right here, their decision as a team was, let's not rush onto the bomb site and try to clear it out and get a bomb plant with these smokes up. Let's wait them out and then try to make a pick because we have over a minute. And as I say that, he does re-smoke to jungle. And it looked like he was already doing that smoke before his teammate actually died. And then he walked into the apartment smoke here. I'm not understanding that. So in this situation, let's just pause it. So the situation was the bomb was down somewhere around here on the bomb site. There was a CT somewhere like jungle side. There's one somewhere CT side, I think. And there's one in halls. When you're in a situation 2 versus 3 or 1 versus 3, what you're supposed to do is go for the kills, or go for the kills that you like where you know the enemies are, or go path of least resistance. So path of least resistance, if they had 2, not really greatest example to show if they were a ramp. If they were middle, for example, and they knew that there's like a CT let's say there's a CT window and a CT connector, let's say there's a CT here and a CT like here, and they're both here, and they know that. They know if it's a 2-on-3, there can be only one guy here maximum, and then the only other person that they'd have to worry about is someone coming there. So that's a path of least resistance. Now, when you're in A like this, there's 2 people here, there's one here, and one here. What you want to do is you want to isolate. Because the CTs are so split apart and they can't help one another, if you know where they are, you go for the kills that you can get. The kills that are clean, easy to get. Sorry, I don't even know if he knew there was someone in Palace. Regardless of the fact, this is smoked out. This is a hard kill to get. I don't know why he's doing that. He smoked this out. He can get the pick here, though. He can get this pick here. Or if he doesn't smoke this out, he can go for this pick. I would have not smoked this area off. They waited these smokes out so that they can go in and go for picks together. But then as soon as the smoke dissipated, he re-smoked it. So I'm not understanding what the purpose of resmoking it is. If you want to go for the picks, you have an op in a 2 versus 3. So it looks like they just got a little flustered there and couldn't decide what they wanted to do or who they wanted to go for. Five towards A makes me think he's just gonna sit up in halls. Remember, looking for the someone to push up. There's no smoke here early, so he's gonna look for a jungle pick. It looks like his team's just exploding out, but I'm assuming he's just gonna sit back in Palace and hold for rotations for a really long time. So right here, you see how Stewie just ran through the smoke at the benches and got a kill on one of his teammates. That's right there, and this area in general, this area here, that's where ALLU should be watching with his op. Should be watching for anyone to run out just through the connector smoke type of thing with his op and just get the kill. The other way to do this is to do it from A ramp, which is what I was talking about in a previous round, where AZ actually got killed from. Sorry, where AZ was when he died, but AZ was like kind of out, pushed up in the open. You'd want to be more on the ramp. So if ALLU was just scoped in there, he probably could have saved his teammate, but he's trying to kill this guy at spawn. So 2-on-2, he showed himself Palace. Now he decides to go back to ramp, which when we're talking about the round where it was a 2-on-2 and the bomb was planted and he showed himself, going back to ramp instantly, good idea. But in this situation with his teammate left on the site and the enemies know where the bomb is and they know where that guy is it the best situation? And his teammate has 10 health? It's really hard to say. It's really hard for Rain to stay alive in this situation.
Jesus Christ.
So it looks like C9 still thinks he's Palace. So it looks like it has paid off. And they're second guessing themselves. They haven't peeked out. They haven't found the bomb yet. So right now, what is happening right now? Okay. Okay, so they have a suspicion that both CTs are towards connector. The bomb's planted default, so because the bomb's behind the box, if the CTs get to the bomb and start defusing, he doesn't really have an angle to stop them, so he's going to play a little bit more aggressive here. And while it's more risky, it's something he needs to do because he's in the 1 versus 2. So he needs to make a play, he needs to clutch, he needs to take a risk. If he doesn't take a risk, he's most likely going to lose. So he needs to take a risk and just try to make a play. And that's what he did, so kudos to him. Do I agree with rotating all the way back around like that? I don't know. I don't think so. 10 health on Rain, he doesn't know what can happen. And this is just unlucky, so the idea behind the strat was either they were going to like run out and then ALLU was going to peek after like the other two riflers jumped out, and then ALLU was just too far behind just because of spawns, not because of any fault of his, and then the other guys, the riflers, just went too early. I don't know if they were trying to do that or if they're trying to do something else, like they didn't think that the CTs would have ops right now because of this one round, and they'd think like, oh, pistols, maybe a scout type of thing. So looks like a little indecisive, not knowing what to do yet. Gonna resmoke a window and then probably post up on, yeah, through connector. What? Okay. So right there, like he could have died from like 3 different angles right there. So I'm not fully understanding why he took such a big risk to like get to this position. And then he's rushing ladder with an op while 2 of his teammates are going connector. And one's Palace. Not really getting it. Like if I'm trying to like do the risk rewards, if I'm looking at just from a positional standpoint, strategical standpoint, it would make more sense for a rifler to do this than to have an opper do it. Like, if anything, I would have gone back to T-spawn and then just gone up A ramp or some shit. We'll see how it plays out. Okay. So it looks like they're just gonna win this round. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't think it's necessary to jump into ladder. I'm just thinking of the advantages. So it looked like he was just jumping up there, clearing out ladder, and then trying to work a pick at B. And that would make sense if they weren't, like, if FaZe wasn't committing on A and they were just like looking for picks. Makes sense. Go cat, look for a cat pick. If you can get a kill B, maybe it pulls a rotation. If you can get a kill B, maybe it allows his team to go back to B and regroup from connector they run underground top or B. That makes sense as well. So if he's doing the play to go ladder room for that reason, to clear it and then go for a cat pick before his teammates execute on anything, that makes sense. If the idea was to go and do an A split and then he was just gonna do something from there, that doesn't make sense. And he actually got really lucky that Tim just whiffed or whatever. Tim did what, like 34 damage? So very unfortunate. I don't know what happened there. Oh, that's a whiff. Well played, checking his flank like that. You gotta check your flank. He could actually do the jump thing onto the box that he did earlier to look at that smoke. I think that would be a safer play than when you do this. You're just like showing your whole body. You're open to someone peeking from either side of window or connector. So it's pretty risky. And like if someone was to throw a nade from cat as well to you at big boxes, like back boxes here, you're also susceptible to that. So I think jumping on the box, the position that I showed you earlier and that he did earlier, I think that would have been a better play, because you'd have a safer angle onto the window player because you have the cover from the smoke. If you did see a nade coming, you would be able to dodge it or avoid it. So I don't think that this is the strongest position that you could have been in, but nonetheless, this team is probably just gonna win this round. So he's actually just posting up because he knows his team's got control of A. They planted the bomb. He's just sitting here waiting for a CT to exit from B, and he's just going to take this kill. Nothing too special about that. So he's going to go for this post on B and kill anyone who's on the van or jump spotting maybe. He saw one, but he got spotted himself. Team's grouping up, so just when you're watching this, just keep note of the angles he's taking, clearing through the window to clear the back of the site, making sure that no one's on this on that spot, boosting up to the van. They're just gonna molly to the bench through that small crack. His teammate dies and he knows where the CT is, so he pulls out his pistol to go and try to get the trade, which is completely acceptable. As long as he's like keeping high ground, he's not just like jumping at the CT like an ass. Like, I think it's fine. Bomb's planted 4 on 3, so he might choose to just go back and take high ground. At the very least, he's watching it, but from this position here, like if a CT came mark it, could have shot him in the side of the head. So I don't know like if he's just got full awareness of what's going on. He really feels CTs were on eco, might be behind me, so he's afraid to exit that way. But the bomb's planted default. It looks like he might just choose to just go with the rest of his team. Cat? No, they're all just gonna exit upper. I think either decision's fine, to be honest. I don't know where that smoke went. Or what it's gonna do. Posting up, remember you just gotta watch for an early pick. If there's no early pick. So the reason why he just pulled out his knife and started running up, they're probably not gonna push Palace. First of all, if it's that late, they're gonna take the spawn. Secondly, there was a lot of contact made at mid and 2 CTs are dead. So he knows, like, let's go help team. Enemy's probably looking at connector now. Still gotta clear close. Honestly though, I can't see why anyone would play close. Like if your teammates are dying at fucking connector coming to A, I would just push into halls or something if I was up there. His teammate dies, ALLU gets the trade. So just keeping himself in a good position like this is just allowing him to get really easy kills. So that kill there, not difficult. Enemy had like a knife out trying to get away, and ALLU knew exactly where he was because his teammate just died to him. Another good pick. Was it necessary? Could probably be argued that it wasn't the safest play, that he didn't need to do it. But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If you're able to hit your shots like that, it's a really good good way to catch someone off guard. Bomb sticking down, and then ALLU's actually looking to just finish him off. Try to hurt their economy a little bit. Because FaZe has loads of money, they can afford to buy, they can afford to have someone die and lose that weapon. But if ALLU was able to find a C9 member and get the kill, it would make their buy even worse, because like right now they have a scout and a FAMAS. So it would have just helped FaZe a little bit more on this round. So again, just walking in, looking for expecting someone to be aggressive here, maybe anticipating Cloud9's on a worse buy than they actually are. But gets a really good pick on Shroud jumping there. Shroud wasn't actually doing a good job of jump spotting because he was just jumping up and down and not doing any like side to side type of thing with it, or like fake jumps, spawn jumps. But very slow and passive here. After getting the kill, even still, they're still slowly looking for a pick as opposed to just like rushing in trying to get the trade on the other guy. Taking some damage, is just gonna back off and just hold for rotations. CT's gonna come and help this Tim guy on site, and then ALLU's gonna get the pick on someone who's not suspecting in market. His teammates die, 16 health. Probably gonna lose this round. Not much he can do. All he can do is go for the picks. He knows one's bench, he knows one's cat, and he knows the market angle. So he's just gonna go between the three, whichever position a CT peeks him from, that's where he's gonna get his kill. And then he's gonna do that again, and then again, and get the bomb plant. Oh, Shroud was jump scouting? Not jump spotting? Makes a little bit more sense. So this angle here, I'm just gonna take a look. It's actually really good because if you're an enemy who's coming out from, oh, did I pause it? Let's resume this. Anyone who's coming out from top middle, when they peek out, they're going to be peeking for anyone who's like crouched in this position and not be aiming up here. So they'd have to adjust their aim if they want to hit ALLU's head. And then ALLU in that time should be able to get a headshot on one of the terrorists and then get that man advantage. So rotate safe to spawn, get some numbers here. The idea behind this setup from FaZe was to do a retake on A if the enemies went there. But it looks like they're just going to get annihilated, and they've lost both pistols. Not much he could do there. The idea behind rotating spawn was just to get more numbers there. I think his teammates were rotating from cat to connector. so they don't want to overload one spot with too many people. So he was just like splitting that up, trying to get to CT and go with his teammate, so that they have like they can do like a really strong split. Again, just going for the USP and just playing in a bait position so that he can get a gun or, you know, get an enemy after his teammates damage him a bit. So he runs off with his UMP. It's gonna instantly switch positions. He's anticipating that the enemies might go B or try to look for pick B, because there's a lot of firefighting at mid, and a B guy died, so like the cat guy died, and then that usually is a cue for terrorists to start trying to make their way into B. So try to rotate there and do something with the UMP. Not much you can do. Another eco, still got the USP. And like, if you notice his playstyle, like in almost every situation, he's always baiting his teammate, and it's largely an opera thing to do, but he almost got a kill there because of it. He almost got a kill the round before. They still killed the guy, and he got a gun out of it. So playing this super baity setup or style isn't bad at all. It's just you need to know when to not bait. So he took the spawn that he had, and he spawned closest to A. So he took that spawn to run across triple and then go for an early connector pick. But before you get to connector, there's always already a flash. It's always good when you're crossing like behind triple box in A. So if I put demo UI down, when you're at this box, walk across staring at ramp. Oftentimes you can get a kill on a terrorist who's just running up. So good kill onto Tim. Tim just like not expecting ALLU to be here this early. And the bomb just got planted, so he's got 45 seconds, I guess more like 40 or 35 seconds to start defusing now. So he's just going to take his time and looking for a pick, but it looks like they know that Stu is behind them trying to flank, so they're just going to back off, save their guns. 10 to 8, they would have to win a 2 versus 5, now a 2 versus 4. So they just realized, you know what, not worth it, let's just go and save. And Stu's in a great position actually to get an exit kill. So dead ALLU. Nothing ALLU could have done there differently on that round. His teammates got overloaded at B without getting kills. Nothing he could do. Playing close A ramp with the P250. This is a good angle because you can usually get a lot of damage done, and it's a safer position. Like if you play closer, you can one-shot someone with the P250, but you don't have the cover from the headshot box. And if you play the headshot box, you can't one-shot someone, but you can stay alive and output like a lot of damage if they don't kill you right away. Good whip. I just got whiplash from that. So he gets the gun and he peeks connector. So he got the kill up here. He ran to the bomb site. He peeked connector like this. He saw no one. His decision here, with one of 2 guns on the team, is to run into this box where he would be trapped from enemies coming in all of these angles. Doesn't make much sense to me, and the only reason why he's moving now is because dudes are calling shit, it's happening at B. That's the only reason why he's moving. Don't know why he went there. 1-on-2, winnable situation, and they're on eco, so any more damage that they do here is good. And like in a lot of cases, like this round's already considered a win because they just did so much economic damage on an eco round. But definitely a winnable situation, so he went for it. He's got more of a mid spawn here, so he's going to go towards mid. And let's see if his teammate breaks the vent for him. No, so he gets slowed down a tiny bit there. Okay, so jumping down here. The reason why he does this is it will take longer if you go from CT through this vent into connector, or if you run from this way through connector. It will take you longer, either method, to get to this position here than just jumping straight through the window and getting down the floor. And then the other added bonus with this is when the terrorists peek out, they think either there or there. They don't think about this. So ALLU's just going to be here, look for a pick, get one kill, and then try to run away. That's the purpose behind this, and catch someone off guard who's really unsuspecting of this. Doesn't find a pick there, but you can see the idea behind the play. So right now, he can't really peek stairs because his teammate's there, and he doesn't want to peek low because the molly's going to force him to a bad angle. So I don't know why he's like getting super close to his teammate, where he could just end up blocking his teammate from like trying to back up, and then his teammate gets headshotted. Let's give the dude some space. Gotta give him some space.
Yeah.
5-on-3. So they're just gonna reset and start playing it passively. Just holding passive angles. And like most of what he's doing, I mean, this angle, not so much, but all the other angles he takes, he's relying on his teammates to get info and make contact, and then he can just peek out and get the kill. Like, oh, I know where the guy is. I'm going to go get that kill. Instead of peeking and then trying to like just hold a specific angle. This angle is really strong because not much of his body shows, and double scoped onto the terrorist, you usually get a kill. A lot of terrorists will stop and like kind of peek that, and even if they don't, if they try to run across, it's a easy enough angle for a CT to hit you crossing. So he breaks his own vent. It's a little bit slower. Okay, this spot over here is really good because when you're a terrorist and you're strafing across, you're looking for anyone to be in this position here. You're not looking for someone to be up here. You're looking for someone to be down there. Okay. Anyways. So actually you can tell ALLU's actually looking for someone to jump up in the box and look above the smoke. He does it himself, so he knows to expect someone else doing it to him. And that's why you can see him kind of like flicking between the two positions. So he waits a moment when the smoke hits the window. He waits a moment because usually right after a smoke, you'll think, oh, smoked, I'm covered, I'm going to run across now. And then, so as soon as the smoke pops, your enemy is just going to start spamming right through that smoke instantly. So by him waiting a moment, he's waiting to see if there's going to be any spam coming his way. Once he's like, oh, no one's spamming, time to cross. That's when he crossed. So he wouldn't take any unnecessary damage or like a random stray headshot. Kerrigan, where's Kerrigan? I think he's A. They have an opera at A. So they're just going to split the ops up and he's going to go for a B pick. His teammates are also Ladder and Cat. So I think FaZe is anticipating a B hit or just playing because they have two ops. They're just playing for a retake. It looks like the enemy's going A, so we're just gonna fast forward a bit. 2 versus 2. So that flash in there is just kind of like a fake to get C9 to think that there's someone jungle. Peeks out right after the bomb's planted, so he gets a free kill. Just hearing bomb has been planted, peek out, you know, there's a guy's sight. Probably planting that spot because his teammate was coming up from connector. So, got that free kill instantly. On the same spot that he was on pistol, the smoke came up and then he spammed it quite quickly. Like, you can often wait like half a second more and get the kill. He was instantly rotating to B off his teammate's death there, and then hesitated for some reason. I think he heard like a flash middle, and then wanted to peek mid. Can he know that the enemies are going to go to B and that his teammates aren't going to be able to hold it? I think it's hard to anticipate that. I don't think there's any problem in his hesitation, but he's taking this slowly. He's looking for the picks. He's looking for the terrorists to mess up a little bit.
Way too much.
For the most part, pretty good retake. A little sloppy on some of the shots and like peeking, I guess, too late. And I don't know. Like definitely could have been a little bit cleaner as like an individual, but in terms of decision making, going slow, looking and clearing all the angles slowly, that's what you can do. Yeah, he's doing that properly. Why isn't he buying a pistol? Someone in chat asks. He does have 8,000 bucks. His teammates are pretty low. If he gets a pistol... Wait, he has a 5.7. I don't know why you're asking that. Literally has a 5.7. I'm getting fucking baited. So once his teammates started getting picked like that, and he was alone at B, he made the right decision to look at Cat. But he could have done it from a safer angle than what he did. Like, he could have taken a position where he's only peeking Cat and protected from upper, and then another angle where he can see upper and he's protected from Cat. This guy's taking a lot of timeouts. So this is the aggressive apartments angle that I was talking about, where he jumped up on the boxes at default boxes on A, to get to this angle and post for a terrorist to just come out. And as a terrorist, he was waiting for this angle every time he came to apartments for this specific reason. And his team threw a smoke behind him, and what that does is it says, oh, we're smoking Palace, we're not like playing it, so it's safe for you to come like turn around the corner. And then ALLU would kill anyone who's turning the corner because they're like, well, CT smoked halls, they can't see me. This toll booth angle is pretty good because you can see towards ramp, he's got a teammate watching his halls, and he can also peek towards middle and see anyone going up cat, which his teammate is calling. So he's just going to take this angle from sight. This is still good. Terrace haven't fully committed anywhere yet, and he's got an open sight line to cat at the moment, but his teammates start freaking out and rotating now, which might cost them the round. So there's a lot of patience from ALLU. As soon as his first teammate died, his immediate reaction was to run to CT spawn, which is the right play. His teammate died at jungle. It might be an A hit. I want to be in a position where I can control how many angles I'm exposed to. So that's what he did. The second thing that he did was he didn't bite on that fake. His teammate was fighting on cat, but ALLU knew that there was someone towards A. So he was waiting to see, well, there's a lot of time left in the round. Like a lot of time left in the round. The T's don't have to commit to anything. I'm going to wait here and see if they're just trying to secure the site with one person and then rotate back here. That's what he did, and it paid off. He got the early pick, and then he was able to get that clutch. So really, really well played by him. So this is an easier lineup to do that smoke. And you can do it while standing still. Like, I don't, just kind of launch it. You can stand here and then just aim up at this thing here. And it's going to land perfectly every time. ALLU was feeling kind of hot from the previous round. Like, he just made a really sick play. I'm feeling good. I'm gonna go and peek them. Was it necessary in that situation without his teammates like also picking off Cat and Connector at the same time? Not really. It's too much of a hero play. You gotta clear the angles a lot slower than that. He kind of like sprinted across, not expecting there to be 4 enemies just in the middle of mid. So he definitely misread the situation, got a little too cocky and greedy just because he just made a sick play. That's why it's important to ground yourself and not play any differently. Well, it's important to, you know, if you're on fire, to keep that rolling, but he's not on fire in a sense. He got a good round. Like, that's it. Being on fire would mean he's 21-4, not 21-15 after the play. So right here, where he's just running across, sometimes it's good. Like right now, the reason why he's not peeking it is because he wants to get across to Connector so he can pick middle quickly. But if you're an opper, definitely scoping up on the ramp and seeing if a terrorist is trying to do some spawn-based play, try to get an early pick, maybe just scrim up A type of thing. It's a really good thing to do, to just sit here and hold this angle on A ramp. So he might get killed here because there's 2 levels he needs to be worried about, top mid and then anyone close bottom mid. And because he doesn't have anyone in window like looking for anyone who's like down on the ground, and it's not really in his field of vision, like he's really susceptible to getting killed. Oh, you got really lucky there. Like half a second difference and you know he could be dead. So I don't know how his team's just collapsing. Going A ramp. It's quiet at middle. He knew people were at middle, so what FaZe is thinking right now, Cloud9 is going to stop. They're going to go T-spawn and then regroup and then either hit B together or A together. So FaZe splitting up, one towards A, one towards B. ALLU getting close on the ramp here. Now, is this the best play, getting on the ramp? Mid was compromised. They could probably boost window. Do I want to go mid? Probably not. So his options are CT spawn, A ramp, palace, or site. Site you don't really want to be in because you'd be open to like 3 angles at once. Like you can't hide. If you're hiding from Connector, you're still open to like ramp and palace at the same time. So you don't want to do that. CT spawn, it's pretty safe. You can control the angles behind you and in front of you really easily. Palace, it's good for a kill, but then you're trapped in like a 2x4 doorway. Ramp, pretty aggressive, pretty good angle. You have the ability to rotate back to middle and get out of harm's way. You can go to palace, get out of harm's way. So I can see the appeal in that. Would I personally do this? This is really fucking ballsy. Like this is big ALLU ballsy in terms of just getting so aggressive on the ramp. It'll definitely catch a team off guard. Is it something you can pull off if you're like lower skilled? Very doubtful if there's more than one enemy there. But ALLU couldn't even pull it off, so it was a very unnecessary risk. So the spawn window here is to basically just not peek this angle, but if he's like a couple steps to the left where you can see terrorists running into connector, you can get a really good shot on their backs to shoot them in the back as they're going in if the enemy doesn't smoke window. He doesn't see anything mid, so he's just going to jump into underground. Usually at this point, the terrorists would have cleared underground and then either gone up to upper, or they're just not coming underground at all. But, well, he just heard them drop down, so fuck me, right? Usually if a terrorist is going underground, they go underground. They don't just like sit around for a little bit and then just decide to go there. His teammates won an eco somehow though. So we get to see what they do as a rifle setup at mid. Because there's no ops here, ALLU's gonna cover for AZ, who's gonna get aggressive on middle, take middle control, and ALLU's just probably gonna spam through the smoke. Well, so that's the lineup. You want to learn the angle so that if there's a smoke top mid, you know where you're just gonna start spraying, and then get those free kills. Oh, get fucked. So many pauses this game. So again, he has a spawn for a ramp, doesn't take it, just goes for the quick pick onto mid, and that's a good one-way angle that Shroud had there. So if you saw where he died, Shroud was on this bin looking at like the side of the smoke and got the kill here. Tim's done this to me in a rank cast before. I'm like, where did I die from? Like the operas just don't really expect to look there. But Cloud9 still chokes.
What did I get rushed? I think we threw one out the window.
This is another useful way to op on Mirage. You're expected to be in window, they smoke that off. You're expected to be connector, they smoke flash that off. You're not expected to be on cat, really, a lot of the time. They expect a rifler to be there, but an opper, not as much. They don't focus on trying to like isolate that too much. They focus on just trying to pick it instead. Oh, that's unlucky timing. Anyways. Sometimes you just get CSGO'd. Back to window. Back up. So they have the pick, they have that man advantage, and they're just gonna pull back and play it a little bit safer, it looks like. But having said that, it looks like I could be wrong, and they might re-aggress. And if the CTs right now wanted to kind of retake middle control, peek it and stuff, instead of ALLU just flashing and peeking out by himself, what happens here is like ALLU can throw a Molotov right where he's looking. He can throw a flash out here, and then his teammates in ladder room can swing off cat. His teammate connector can swing out connector. Now, you know, ALLU watches top mid. The connector guy checks under window, and the guy who's on cat also helps top mid, and then cleans up, gets the trade kills on under window. That's how they should approach this, not like how he approached it the other round like a while ago. So this angle he's holding, oftentimes what happens is there'll be an enemy at this position here who tries to get a pick, or they might head stack so they can look right into the window. Two-man advantage, does he need to go aggressive like this? No, not really. Most of the time, it won't affect anything, but it's that some of the time that it does affect it, that you just go from, you know, having a 5-on-2, like, guaranteed win round to, oh, how we lose that? I don't know. I quit the team. So every time ALLU's come towards B with his op, it's been when his teammate has either an op or an auto at A. There's been no other time that he's come B except to rotate to retake. But playing B early, he only really did when his teammate had another scope towards A. So I don't know if they chose to do it spawn based or like comfort based, because ALLU could have been opping like A side first half with one of his teammates scoping on B. So I don't know, like, I don't know why I chose to do it that way, but whatever. I don't know what I'm talking about. So apparently there's a stroke here, so I'll watch one more half of this and then I'll call it. So they're doing what they did in the first gun round of the game, holding back and watching for pushes. Going to go for that B pick. Can we follow that? So that's where their smokes went. Sight, just to the left of sight, and cat here. So it was a fake B, go A, and then the idea, like the reason why ALLU was still standing by him. So the terrorists came here, they made a huge fake, they smoked this off, they smoked off this or some shit, and then they rotated like 2 people back here, so that they were gonna go and hit A, and hopefully A would only have like 1 CT on it to protect it, and then they can get that kill. And then the idea would be to plant at this position here, so ALLU, who's still camping around B, can run, jump out the window, and then op it from cat. That's the idea behind it. Kill any CTs that are rotating that way, rotating this way, and trying to defuse the bomb. He can see them all from catwalk. Easy smoke for top mid if you ever get that spawn. Looking for the early pick, but his teammates have already come up, connector and jungle. He could look for someone to push the smoke. He knows someone's out in A. His teammates are down, like he needs to go and make a play now, so he's gonna peek out and look for kills and drop down from the position. If his teammates were still alive, definitely he would stay up there and just watch the jungle smoke, not peek out to CT spawn. But now, because he's a man down, he needs to go for a pick. Now it's 1 versus 3, definitely needs to go for a pick. And again, it's where you know there are people. You go for that kill. Big balls, ALLU. Big balls. It's worth the risk. The 2 plays you can make: 1, you start the plant and then you scope on CT and hope someone peeks you and then you can do a real plant. Or 2, you plant and you hope that the CT guy's playing really passive and waiting for his teammates to start coming up, and then retake together after you plant the bomb. So it's basically flip a coin and take a chance, and he flipped it and he got plant the bomb. They won't peek. Well, they fucking peeked. So I'm gonna wrap it up there, and I guess the key points to take away is every time he was opping T-Halls, he would stay up here and his goal would be to kill any CTs that run through this smoke or like jump out through this smoke. And then if his teammates needed like assistance or there's like a trade that needs to happen, at that moment he'd peek out, get the kill, and then fall back and then start playing this angle again. Same thing at B halls. So when his teammates went B, he would be looking for this market angle, and that's a really good angle to hold. When he was in the window room, he jumped on the little plank thing to get a little bit of an off angle on any terrorists that were top middle. On his terrorist side, he jumped on this box here so he could look over the smoke and kill anyone in the window room. So these are all really good angles that you can use as an opper. Another thing that he did a lot of was just baiting his teammates in terms of lets them take contact, gets the information where the enemy is, and then getting that trade kill. So in a sense, it might look really super hardcore baiting to a lot of you guys, and it in some cases it is, but in a lot of cases it can also help like discipline you. If you just wait and wait, your teammate gets in a fight and then you wait and then you go, you can oftentimes find that the enemy's not even like expecting you there. Their guards let down because no one came, made noise instantly. So in a lot of ways you can learn on a little bit of just having a little bit more patience by watching some of ALLU's bait plays, because to a layman it might just look like he's just a baiting piece of shit, but I think there was purpose to it in most of the situations. Anyways, that was Bot God ALLU, ELEAGUE Season 2, something against Cloud9. I'm just going to end it here for ALLU because I want to do his teammates on other demos.